Hi everyone, this is Suzanne Wagner and I'm doing the Astrology Numerology video blog for January 22nd, 2018. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. So if you add up the 122 2018, you get a 7. And I wish that spiritual global awakenings could be less painful, but it is only the harsh emotional truth that will allow some to wake up from deluded states of being. They don't often recognize how much suffering they inflict upon the world through the aspects of their denial. They also do not recognize the karmic burden that they will bear from it. This is the number of spiritual awakening, the number 7. It is the place where you recognize that your inner and outer worlds must be aligned. Without that balance, there is no true stability. Evolution is always about homeostasis. Life, in this reality, must have a type of balance to work well and to flow. This number is about setting limits. Those limits are necessary to rein in those who are less aware and more unconscious. This is a number to seek a plan and to look at the long-sightedness of that plan. If a plan cannot go the distance, it is not sustainable. One of the lessons that is paramount in the world and gets proven again and again is that you cannot restrict and push down the populace for long. Humanity will only take so much before the natural free-spiritedness breaks out of all human restrictions that are being imposed upon it. This is the number of education. Where do you need to educate yourself? Where are you out of balance between knowledge and belief? Rigorous times are ahead. So, what are you going to do about it? Now, in the astrology reality, the work week begins under an Aries moon. So it's time to get ambitious in and pioneering some new projects. Get outside, get off that couch, and do some exercise. It will help alleviate that stress that is building up. The moon ends its transit in Pisces and enters the sign of Aries. So how can you be more assertive, active, and spontaneous? You feel instinctively that you desperately need a fresh start or to put plans into action. There is a drive to discover new things. The moon harmonizes with the sun and Venus today, gifting you with a momentary feeling of cooperation and camaraderie. Take advantage of it while you can. Let that enthusiastic side out. With the moon square to the sun this morning, you can feel spiritually and materially more grounded. But to some, this aspect may feel a little bit heavy. Learn to harness your energy and channel it into something that is productive and life-affirming. So, the quote that I wanted to put out today was, do not fear the future. If you have healed and dealt, let's start over. You do not fear the future if you have healed and dealt with your past. Where you contract and judge are those places that are festering. The wounds that you do not recognize are the ones that are buried deep. In this world, it is socially acceptable to pay attention to those wounds on the surface, but as they are obvious. But the places that you hold away from the light and the love are the ones that prevent you from claiming joy and allowing you to love those and love those aspects within you. The lack of awareness of your pain becomes a shield preventing the very thing you most want to come into your life. So let's go with the blog. So my blog today, as I was reflecting, was that I have this feeling that I've stepped into this glorious place in my consciousness at this point in time in my life. I have learned and lived, grown and uncovered, evolved and discovered the soul that gratefully resides in this body. And with that, I have found the places of peace and acceptance. From this place inside, the outside and the future is not anything to trigger me into fear. That is because my inner demons that I was willing to discover and communicate with were way scarier than anything in the external world at this time. When you do not know your darkest self, you fear all the reflections in the outer world that do not fit with your projected ego. When you know and accept all of who you have been in this life and this life's choices, then you must go backwards in time and come to grips with the choices and decisions that you made in other past lives. Then, when you learn to love and accept all those reflections, something shifts. You see the evolution of your soul. You understand that some of those difficult choices that caused so much suffering were necessary for you to become who you are and to awaken to the true nature of your soul, which is compassion. When you allow life to live and breathe you through the doorway of the compassionate heart, the old habits of contraction melt away, and you are left with the observation, clarity, and honest reflection of what is right in front of you. There is no need, there is no longer a need for justification or even an explanation. You see the bigger whole that each person is on their own particular journey to awaken. That is the only real journey worth anything of value. You are either stepping fully into that place and choosing the path that allows for that awakening, or you are actively avoiding the path that is clearly in front of you, that is beckoning you to come back to your true self. So I hope that you enjoy that today. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening. Bye.